We love you.
When you texted me last week saying I'm producing next week's podcast.
Yeah.
By producing, you mean emailing 3 other people and making sure they can do the podcast. Is that producing?
I think it
is
just
that the
means
extent of it?
producing the cast.
Well,
You added a lot of pomp to that whole thing. Like, I'm producing
Yeah,
the
I figured,
podcast.
like, usually when Gus leaves town, it's like, hey, get 3 people. And I'm like, cool. Hey, can you do it? Cool. But you're like, I'll be producing Monday's podcast. So...
That's just how they phrased it when they asked me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're like, hey, Bernie was like, Gus and I are going to be out in San Francisco. Would you produce and host the podcast?
All right. Well, I'm
sure.
Let's do it.
I don't know. There's too much pressure. I've already done part of my duties. I introduced us.
John,
I said who's the sponsors.
direct. Do it.
Well, what happened before the podcast is that we realized that, the daddies are gone.
Uh-huh.
So, we should do something a little,
Wacky.
And we came up with, you guys came up with Jenga.
Yeah, it's pretty wacky.
You guys are like, we made
out of
a
control.
bit.
Let's play Jenga.
Let's go fucking crazy. We're going insane.
Not like Jenga
with wooden
with,
blocks.
with shots
Well,
inside,
it's
just
giant Jenga.
bog standard Jenga.
Well, I guess Barbara will start.
Is it even playable? You touched it.
I'll play. Hold on.
I mean, it's gonna just be lousy. Like Jenga is barely fun for the people playing.
Right.
Not to mention the people that are listening on the audio podcast are like, the fuck is going on?
They can't even hear you right
Yeah.
now, Blaine.
Just get-
No, the crew will watch him.
the audio listeners are just gonna listen to it, hear a crash, and then
Dude, we once had a big. I think it might have been this Jenga going at an RTX VIP party, and
good times.
there was this girl there, this fan,
Yeah.
and I was like, I dare you to go kick it down. I was saying it as a joke. Because there were 5 people playing Jenga, and she just walked over to it and kicked it, and I was like, "Oh,
what a dick!"
yeah."
What do you think was going to happen?
Well, I just didn't think she would do it.
Gavin, your turn.
But what's the repercussions of knocking down a Jenga tower?
Well, everyone playing it was like, why?
Oh no, everybody play Jenga.
I don't know.
Oh no, we ruined it. Jenga.
I mean, I was very impressed. I was like, that was ballsy, but
Damn it!
really,
you
Barb?
fucked up fucking up Jenga.
Really, Barb? For those listening to the audio podcast, the Jenga tower just fell over.
Hold on, I got a fart. Okay.
Blaine, you're so gassy.
Listen, I told you beforehand I was gonna fart. I'm gonna fart.
You've
Mom-
also been spitting everywhere.
Mom and Dad aren't here. Listen, okay, I think I
Are you high?
I might have gotten punched or
Oh.
something this weekend because my lips are like I'm actually extra spitty today.
Why would,
I might have gotten punched.
why would getting punched affect your skin?
Because I got like a big lip, I guess.
You always have big lips.
Well, that's rude.
They're very full.
It is a lot of our topic.
It must be awful for a significant other to come for the first time to a gathering. Well, like that night I tackled you.
Yeah,
She hated it.
Who did?
she wasn't there.
What? Yeah, she was.
No,
Who's she?
she wasn't.
Oh God, I
No.
got so many burps. I might throw up.
She wasn't there.
She was there.
No, she was at home.
I'm good.
No, because she came late.
Oh, and she didn't like it?
Why?
Who is she?
Oh.
My ex-wife.
Okay, all right, fine.
No, she wasn't there.
She was there.
No, because I remember.
I remember because that was the night I met her.
This is going to go on the entire podcast.
And she was just not amused. It was just like Larry and loud.
Yeah.
And at one point, we had a little wrestle scrap in the dust, and dust was kicking up everywhere.
Yeah, and then you
it was-
tackled me into like the root of a tree and fucked up the side of my leg.
And it was all fun and games. It
was
she
all
was
fun
just
and
like,
games.
these people be crazy.
That's
I
'cause
moved
we were-
from California for
These
this.
people be crazy.
We were pretty drunk too.
Well, yeah.
That's
What?
probably that.
Gavin, have we ever gotten in like a little tiff, like you and me?
Were you there? This was when we filmed that Pokemon Go RT Life out by the movie theater next door. Something like fell over and almost hit Bernie, and he reacted like this. And he said that that's his like instinctual reaction now to things when they scare him.
Bernie's very proud that he's a fighter, not a flighter. He will punch anything that startles him.
That's
He's a
why
fighter, not a
trying to
fighter.
prank him is going to be hard.
Well, 'cause you get punched.
When I inevitably going to try to prank him, he will.
Have you got anything planned?
You guys missed him wiping out so hard on his scooter the other day. Or
Bernie did?
I heard he ate shit during the Monday morning meeting.
No,
He
this
looks
was
like an idiot. Anybody who's on those hoverboards looks like an idiot.
We had
I
lunch.
like that thing. I mean, I took out some shelving last week, but
It's fun.
it's fun.
It's really fun.
Sorry, Barb. What are you saying?
We had a big company lunch on Friday. We had a visitor here.
Yeah.
And Bernie like rolled in on his scooter and he went back behind where the washing machines are. You know, there's like that ramp that goes up there. And all of a sudden we heard like a smash and we turn around and Bernie's upside down off the ramp. And everyone's like, oh shit, are you okay? He's like, I'm fine.
He's such a big guy.
But there's nothing
too.
worse than hurting yourself in public like that. And then everyone asking you, are you okay? You're okay? And you're like, yeah, stop.
Yeah, and you're like flustered because you've just fallen down.
In front of like 50, 60 people.
My instinct is to laugh when I'm in pain in front of people, just to be like, it just happens.
Yeah.
I don't mean to, but I think it helps pull things off a little bit more gracefully.
Well, it reminded me of that video that Rooster Teeth put out years ago of Bernie trying that Tony Hawk
Skate,
skateboarding.
The ride game.
That was so funny.
And Jack's laugh is so great.
Yeah.
He can't hold the camera still because he's laughing so much.
Kissing his pants.
Hey, if I want,
were you anything to do with immersion that we just filmed?
The one at RTX?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it? I
You directed that
I
one.
conceptualized it and I was co-directing with Daniel.
Oh yeah, you're bickering with Daniel. But Bernie trying to deliver lines whilst walking down the stairs, I could not keep a straight face. Because he would be looking forward at the camera and not really thinking about his footing. So he would either get to the bottom of the stairs and think there was another step, or he would be just thinking about it too much. Or sometimes he would just land hard on one of the steps and his line would be like, no, he'd be like, this day on immersion. It would make me laugh. So there must be like 10 minutes of outtakes of that.
Well, one take, he came up to me and Daniel was like, I'm going to fall. Just watch their reactions. And we're like, okay. So he starts at the top. He's like, welcome to immersion. And then I like watched you guys and you guys were like, and he just held perfectly still in the staircase.
Yeah, he was messing with us. We can actually see him. That was what was funny about it, is he was coming down the stairs behind us, and we were just looking forward to the camera, just listening and waiting for him to mess up his lines or fall down the stairs.
How fast was he walking down?
Normal speed.
Why don't you just like saunter down? That's easy to go down slowly.
Yeah, but if you're delivering lines and you're trying to hit like talking points and look at the camera, you're not really focusing on your legs coming downstairs.
I do remember you fucking up your line multiple times in Australia when we filmed the Space Invaders immersion.
Yeah,
Because you had to intro it for like the first time, I think.
yeah. Being a scientist is a lot harder than being a lab rat.
Nah, bullshit.
Well,
You
I
have
mean,
to memorize lines.
a lab rat, you just literally show up and do the event, and
Yeah,
it's
but
like
so-
all natural reactions.
Oh,
Scientist is
Prep.
memorize this paragraph.
Oh, but that's so easy.
Well, for you.
For you.
How many ad reads do we have? I think you need to do an ad read.
Didn't I read?
Put in there. Segue. Great segue.
Sorry, master segue, Blaine Gibson.
Blaine. The internet's Blaine Gibson.
The internet's own Blaine Gibson.
Has being verified got you more vag? Sorry, ad read.
The suspense of the answer to that.
Vajois.
We'll have to wait.
I have this old guy
That's it.
in our apartment, and he has like a back problem, so he's always like hunched over like this.
He's at like a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, and he always asks for the time, and it scares like it. We're pretty sure, Aaron and I are sure that he's like a ghost haunting our apartment complex because he fucking pops out of nowhere and he's like, "Do you have the time?" And you're like, "Ah!" It's like really.
Did I
fucking
tell you what
terrifying.
happened with that guy?
He said he got caught the other day.
I did. I got caught by him, but in a really awkward
Doing
place.
what?
So this old guy loves swimming in the pool.
That's right. You guys say he like practically lives at the
Wouldn't he
pool.
drown if he was lent over forward?
I mean, maybe the back is therapeutic for
He
his
stays
back.
in the shallow end,
The pool might be therapeutic for his back.
and he
Anyways.
just like kind of just
You just hit
walks
someone
back and
butt
forth.
like,
But I saw him coming. So like when you go to Aaron's apartment and when you're going in the front door, you could also see the door that's like connected to the pool. So you could see people coming out of the pool when you're going in the front door. And so I saw him coming out of the pool. So I kind of like waited to open the door for a bit because I wanted him to pass by. I didn't want to have to talk to him. And so I saw him pass by and I thought he left. And so I opened the door and I went into the elevator and he's like, hold the door. And I'm like, fuck. And he gets in. He's wearing a bathing suit, but it's hiked up into his ball sack. So I could basically see his entire like upper thigh and like maybe a hint of a penis popping out there.
Scrote.
And he has no shirt on or no shoes. He's just a
How old
guy.
is this
It's
guy?
fucking furry.
He's probably 85.
Yeah, he's in his 80s.
Wow.
He's really
So
old.
skin like dripping off the bone. Almost.
Dripping, like saggy old skin dripping. And he's just like dripping all over the elevator floor. And this is the kind of guy who wants to make conversation with you no matter what you're doing. And it's like, it's not a very long elevator ride. So I like press the button, he presses his button, and he goes, well, going up. And then about
Aw, he sounds like such a sweet
and then
old
about
dude.
5 seconds later, he goes, almost there.
Aaron's like, is this thing still going? Yeah, there's
Yeah,
it's still going.
still going.
I hate forced small talk in like.
And they
You
bully
should
them?
not like let that affect you though, because if you look at your like place at where you are, and I'm sure if you look at the bully, that kid that was bullying you, like where they are right now in their life, like
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's.
Well, they're
I mean,
just
it is
projecting
fine now.
their
It's
own
just
problems.
like you really shouldn't bully people because it just sticks with people.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
life.
Well, you shouldn't bully people because you should be a fucking good person.
Well, but people aren't. Like kids
Yeah.
don't know that yet. Like some kids are like, well, my friend's bullying this kid, so I'll do it as well. It's like, make.
See, and I was like
Don't do
shitty,
it.
like second, third grader. I didn't really understand what I was doing. Was
Yeah.
really mean until like there was like a hard moment where I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, I'd never bully anybody.
I feel like there's more education now on bullying and the negative effects of it.
It's way. I hope that
And
this
kids with the
generation
internet
is
should
No,
be
way
kids
less
are still
aware of it.
horrible.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
with the
kids are
internet, there's like no, there's nothing to stop you. You know?
Yeah, kids are still horrible.
And
Now it's
anonymity.
more anonymous,
Yeah,
which sometimes is more damaging.
I do like remembering the people that bullied me when I was fat. Talk about it now.
Oh, could not be more flaccid right now.
There's no revenge to any of that either, though. Like if I went up to the people now who bully me and I'd be like, "You bullied me," it'd be like, you'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, sorry, I was a kid."
No, there is. I if I see those people and I have,
He
before,
punches
like,
them.
No, I kill them with kindness. Be like, oh my god, it's so good to see you. How's it been? And I'll just be like super nice. Don't talk about me. How are you doing? Let me hear about your job at Walmart. You know, like
Wow.
we're super nice.
There were girls
I mean,
who
I
were,
worked at a supermarket.
there were girls
so
who
did I.
were really mean to me, especially in like middle school and high school, because I was just like really nerdy and stuff, and they were like all popular and pretty, and I was like 5'9" and like 110 pounds or something like that. And now I think
Someone
like,
just laughed
thank you
from
for
behind the
laugh.
curtain when Barbara has described herself.
And now I see them on like Facebook and shit, and they're just like, I'm a barista, or I'm a waitress or something. And it's just,
Nothing
like,
wrong with those things.
Nothing wrong with that, but also like
Nothing.
I feel almost like
Well, we live very
Like-
What the fuck are you doing, Blaine?
what is that? Was that supposed to be me as a kid? Because
No.
it kind of looks.
I
like
have
it.
to say that we live very like those of us.
very
here-
fortunate.
We are extremely fortunate. We
and
are
I
lucky
feel
sons of
very
bitches.
lucky for where I am in life and what I'm doing, and then it's almost kind of like
That's what
you
I'm-
made fun of me, and
Right.
like this is what
There
you're
really
doing.
is
This
nothing wrong with being a waitress or a supermarket.
Nothing at all.
Like
but
honestly, my job at the supermarket was so fun. Like I had so much fun in that.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with
ad
it.
read. There's a board up.
I
Says
see.
ad
I'm
read.
looking at the timer. I got it.
I worked in the dairy. My sister, when she was like 5 years older than me, got a job in the produce section, and we would just hang out. And it was a really cool bonding time for me. And my
I mean,
sister.
I would say that my job at the supermarket was one of the most useful things I've ever done.
Same.
In that it taught me not to be lazy.
Work
and
ethic.
When you learn that work ethic of like, you teach yourself how to be keen to work. It's like, you wake up, you work hard, and then you
Get money.
go home, and it's like, you can get pay rises based on performance. All that stuff is so important. There are some people who come straight out of school into a job like this, and they are not as good.
How old were you when you worked at a supermarket?
16.
Same.
But that's the legal age of working.
I think it was 15 for me, but
I think if it's not a family business, it's 16 is the youngest.
yeah.
Speaking of really important stuff,
Yup.
you know what's really important?
You suck at segues. What?
I think you're great.
No,
Blaine?
shh. I want to see your
Do
breaks.
you want to say
first.
something about that?
Read the ad, John.
No.
I'm waiting for your apology. Give me an apology, Blaine.
What's the ad read?
Give me an apology, Blaine.
I want to because I wanted to read the ad, but I don't want to out of pride. I'll be the bigger man. I'm sorry, John.
Thank
Forgive
you,
me.
Blaine. I
You're a
appreciate
close
that.
friend. I appreciate you.
I appreciate our friendship.
Yeah.
Caved pretty quickly.
You're a
there.
very pretty man.
Okay.
This episode of Rooster's Podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. So, making websites, doing it for many years of my life. Always, as an artist, very important to have 2 microphones and to have a website. Always hated it when I had to code it myself.